Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello!
Hi!
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for February 20th through 24th.
Covered so much this week.
It was an insane week. This is what I remember it being like.
Yes.
You know, this is what gets you hooked. No,
you couldn't wait
intended.
for the next day.
But exactly. That was a bad pun.
That was a good pun.
We'll get to that, but I got some.
I didn't mean to cut you off there. That was a good pun.
No, you're totally fine. So we did have one quick correction that apparently, and I'm pretty sure it was me that said it, that Victor paid for Ava's plastic surgery last week, and it was Valentine.
It was Valentine, but I just knew what you were talking about, or I knew what I was talking about. If I was the one that messed it up, that I would have never caught it. So.
I love that we're both on the same page at the same time.
Yes.
Sometimes. It's great.
Because we know what we're thinking in our brain,
exactly.
And sometimes our words just don't match.
Our words don't match our brains?
Yes. I have that problem a lot, actually.
Yes, me too. So we did have one Port Charles pipeline. So Kathy Parks sent us a message asking, who is JD asking you all the quiz questions on Monday's podcast? If you missed it, we did the quiz at the back of the People Magazine's 60th anniversary.
And I won.
By one, and neither of us apparently know the show at all.
I just have to point out that I won.
I know. I still didn't think of, I have something I can give you. That can kind of be your prize, but it's not really because I've been working on it for a while. But
yes.
Okay. He had a Seth Rogen vibe, and I smiled throughout that whole bit. And I just clarified, that's my husband, Shannon's husband, and he's been on the show a couple of times.
Yeah, he's a good fill-in whenever something's going on with me.
And then she asked, was it just me that got the Seth Rogen vibe? And I've never had anybody mention that before.
And I can't even comment because he's just your husband. Like,
yeah,
I'm used
he's
to.
Super chill.
Yeah, and I talk to him every week, so.
I will say, though, when we first started dating, he used to do Civil War reenactment even after we were married. And then just, life. And there was one time he was calling me on the way back when we were just dating. He was calling me on the way back. And I asked him if he was high. Because I'm like, I don't. I got kids. Like, that's a deal breaker. It's illegal is my only issue.
Right.
I'm not getting into a political debate about this. That is my only issue.
Yes.
So I guess I kind of maybe, because isn't that what Seth Rogen's kind of known for?
Is that the definition of Seth Rogen?
So I don't know, but no, I've never been told that. And I did ask him, I was like, has anyone ever mentioned that you sound like Seth Rogen? And he said no. So thank you, Kathy.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
I like Seth Rogen.
I think because we're best friends. So
of course you are.
Yeah. And then the day we're recording is February 26th, which is Debbie Lowther's birthday. And tomorrow, the day that this is being released, so today, if you're listening on Monday or February 27th, whatever day you're listening to, is Amanda's birthday. Yay!
Yes, thank you.
Every single year I say I need to get party
sounds.
Clothes,
oh my
thingies, and every year I don't have them.
Yeah, every year I'm not disappointed that you don't have those.
So I was trying to get this together for Christmas, and it didn't necessarily work out that way, and been working on it for. Anyway, it's done now-ish. So it's done in time for your birthday.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily just for you, but I think it's something that we can enjoy together.
Okay, now I'm scared. Oh my god. It is Guess Who with all of our characters. All of our GH characters. How did you do this? How did you have time to do this?
I like crafting.
Oh my gosh.
And my husband's a graphic designer, and he is actually the one who...
Oh, I turned up lucky. Hey.
Hi.
Oh, and Taggert. I'm just going to memorize. And the Jagger. I'm going to memorize the sport, just so you know.
Well, so here's the thing, is that there's additional cards, so we only... Ooh. I did get to laminate, so thank you.
Oh, I think it's meant. I flipped Jagger up, and then as I'm going through the cards, the first card I picked up is Jagger. So Happy birthday to me.
So there are 24 characters, but then there's a few other sheets that we just need to continue cutting out the small squares so we can actually swap them out too. And there's obviously so many more that we need to add, but I kind of did some of our favorites first. I think I have 48 actually already picked out.
So I have one upgrade. I think the people that we have interviewed should have a different color next to them than white.
Oh.
Because that should be our goal, is to have the whole board with a colored streak next to it that we've interviewed everyone.
Yeah, okay. Color. JD's gonna love that request.
Okay, I'm it's not really a request. It's just as I'm looking at it, I'm like,
no, you don't. It won't work though, because what if you can see through the card as we're sitting across from each other? Then we would see that there's no border.
Okay.
I like the idea though.
Okay.
Everyone that we have interviewed is in the 48, so it's not.
So
not all of them are on the 24, but they are all included in the first 48.
This is so cute, and I cannot believe that you took the time to do this. You're a new level of crazy, but I love it. Hello, Luke. Fun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, last night was all cutting them out and laminating them.
Oh, this one fell out.
Yeah, I messed up on cutting some of them. It was a learning curve.
This is so cool. We need to market this and have it out for Christmas.
It was a learning curve.
I love it.
But yeah, so
I can't wait to beat you at this too.
Shut up. Didn't I win the board game though? I think I won the board game.
You did win the board game.
So there we go.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
I think so too, because I think that I was Alan and he kept losing points for all his affairs.
I think you're right. So, all the boardroom stuff. It's like, man, he can't.
Yeah, he was not the best character to pick.
So we are gonna have to pick a day to play that. So
yes. I'm so excited. Thank you.
There's just going to be a couple rules that I think there's only one person at this time wearing a hat, so we cannot ask that question.
Okay.
But both Helena's are in there.
Oh.
As JD was cutting them, he was helping. Oh, he printed them out because, he was putting together the cards.
Yeah.
He printed them out, and then I cut them and laminated them, and then cut them again. And he's like, I didn't know Elizabeth Taylor was... And then he got the entire dissertation.
Of course.
On why we even have Helena is because she didn't... Did Mikos mention her name during the Ice Princess? That I can't remember. But she came and put the curse on Luke and Laura during their wedding because they, quote, killed Mikos. But I don't know if... I think we knew he was married, but I don't know if we had a name.
Probably not.
But the whole reason we have Helena Cassadine as a physical person that we can associate with is because of Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes.
So he got that whole history lesson.
Sure he was sad he asked at some point.
Just a bit. You can't ask me these things.
That's really funny that you say that, because yesterday I was watching a show with my son and Ryan, and it ended, and so it was recommended for you what to watch next, and some movie popped up with James Franco, and they both were like, oh, we love James Franco, and I was like, do you know what show he was on?
Right? Yep. So, and you know what character's named after him? Oh, Franco. That would be it.
He played a psycho killer, and Matt's girlfriend is like, oh, no, I didn't know that. She was very polite and listened to my rant. They just kind of ignored me.
It's a good time.
Yes.
So, yeah, so we're going to play Guess Who sometime.
Yay, thank you. I'm so excited.
I just have to finish the rest of the cards, but that's a whole other thing. We can get started on the ones we have.
Yes.
All right, so any fun things? No?
No?
Okay. On Monday, Spencer comforts Trina.
Yes.
They're the new Lucky and Liz.
They're so cute.
They're the new Lucky and Liz. But we need them to have a different outcome.
Yes.
A more sustainable outcome, please. It's okay for people to fall in love in their early 20s and stay together.
It is.
Just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen. On Tuesday, Heather makes a shocking move.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. On Wednesday, Liz pleads with Scott. I loved everything about that.
I don't know how I feel.
Okay. We can discuss that when we get there.
Yeah.
On Thursday, Sunny asks Brooklyn for help, which is none of her business.
Nope, I did not like that at all.
Not okay.
But I wanted to know what that new room was, because I was
the solarium that we talked about.
I thought I've never been.
That was the one
different angle?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There was a different angle because I was like, I
That's
don't
the one
remember all
that
these
Cody and
videos.
Sasha were in. It was just during the
Yes.
day. It was during the
Okay.
nighttime is when Sasha and Cody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's where my confusion was.
That's okay. In February,
Nope.
on Friday, Dante and Jordan lead an interrogation.
Okay.
So where do you want to start?
Are we just starting on Monday with Trina because we love her?
Sure.
So,
Because we actually forgot to talk about last week when we were going on and on about how much we loved Taggert interacting with Trina.
mm-hmm.
We forgot to actually talk about what they talked about, where she did bring up, is this why all the times when I was younger, you would say that's your child? And that is something that is a frequent parent thing, that you're blaming the other one when there's something wrong. Not wrong, you know what I'm saying. But
yeah, when the kid does anything that disappoints you or frustrates you, you turn around to your significant other and say, why is your child behaving like this?
Exactly.
And when they're being perfect, you instantly jump to, my child is an angel.
Yep. So, and I thought that was good because Trina is so mature, but that was such
an innocent question. Yes.
Yeah, and fair enough. You know, she's not sure. Did he know? And then I feel, and that's what we kind of ended it on. And I feel like maybe he didn't know.
I feel like it would have to be in your head, but same thing. You just don't want to question it because, especially like Portia said, again, not making excuses for her because that was not the right way to go about it. But they were working on their marriage. Curtis was gone. And so I'm sure that Taggert felt the same way. Bring this up and implode our marriage again. Where are we going to go from here? Plus, if we're trying to work together, now we have to acknowledge this third person because they're going to want to parent their child. If I just ignore the whole situation and am ignorant to it all, my little happy family gets to continue.
Well, and it's the decision that he made. He said, I already forgave you. I already made that decision. So exactly like you said, it might have been something he wasn't ignoring, but it was something that he processed as a possibility and let it go. And because it was never mentioned,
right,
he assumed she would not
hold that secret from him. Yeah.
Right. And she's been holding it from herself too.
Yeah.
So, but he left saying, she is my daughter. I am her dad.
I am her dad.
Point blank, period.
Yes.
I hope he doesn't go after Curtis, though. I hope that, because he and Curtis have gotten to a good place.
I don't see him going after Curtis because it's not Curtis's fault.
No.
Curtis didn't hold this secret, and him and Curtis have already made peace. Right. So I feel like everything that he said to Portia is where he's at. He's extremely angry that she would do this, but at the same time, to quote my favorite ex, it is what it is. So here we go.
I really thought it was funny, though, because she was wearing the just married sweatshirt, and she's like, it's literally all I have, because we were supposed to be wearing these on our honeymoon. They were a gift from Trina. And I think that she understood the irony and all that.
Yeah.
Where she's like, yeah, Trina gave these to me and Curtis as a wedding gift, so zip it. So we actually started with Taggert and not Trina, how you wanted to. So I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I can talk about Taggert any day, because hearing him say that and claim his relationship, nothing sexier.
Yeah.
So Trina was obviously upset by everything and went to the art gallery with Spencer, and they had a little smooch, and then it looked like things were going to progress, and I fell in love with Spencer in that moment when he said, no, we're not doing this here. And she asked, again, an innocent young girl or virgin question of, is the reason why you won't be with me is because it's my first time? And he was like, no, we're just not doing this.
Right.
In an art gallery.
When you're in this.
When you're upset.
Yeah.
I want you to not be using it as something to numb the pain. I want it to be a good experience that happens because you want it to happen. And I thought that was so...
And the speech that he gave her beforehand, okay, I know we're all going to be shocked. I teared up. It was beautiful, though. It was a beautiful speech.
It was.
And...
It was. It was nice to see that side of Spencer that we've all known is there, and for him to finally get to profess it to Trina.
Yes.
So she says she can't go home. She has nowhere to go. She says about going back to his house, and he's like, oh no, I can't take that temptation. I'm not that good.
Right.
And so he has the idea to take her to Windermere for her to stay with Ava, which was a great idea.
I know.
If there wasn't
everything else happening,
crazy stuff going on at Windermere. So yeah, I don't know. I just loved all the scenes with them and how protective he was. And
yeah,
it was just cute. Again,
he was protecting both of them too, because
yes,
I mean, but ultimately he put her first, and
we're a sucker for young love. What can we say?
Especially good young love.
Yeah,
that's like healthy and just so romantic and so sweet. But there were the comics in Ava's gallery, because, you know, the gallery's changed out.
Yep.
And the very first one it showed, it says, Jenner, is that you? And it says, oh, Frank, I fear I might have spent all your money. We know that Frank Valentini is the executive producer.
Right.
Who's Jenner?
I don't know.
I like to think that they wrote all that because of that. And then there was another one that had a skyline that had like a little bubble that said, here we are.
I love the artwork too, but I also love how excited you get by all of it. It's so cute.
There was seriously a butterfly, writers, you're listening right now. There was a butterfly portrait in Ava's gallery. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I love. Just throwing that out there. You know the email address? Email me. I would be interested in acquiring it. Thanks.
Where did you get your extensive art collection from? The Ava Jerome Gallery. Oh, really? I've never heard of that. Is it downtown? No, it's from Port Charles on General Hospital, a made-up TV show.
With real art. With real art.
I'm just waiting for the dinner parties where those conversations are going to happen.
It is.
I'm in with you. I would be very happy if you acquired it.
And I think the only thing to stay, just to get it, I hate to say get it out of the way, but Curtis went to the Savoy and started downing some whiskey or bourbon.
So happy, so happy that, what's the bartender's name? Nika. I don't know. There's certain names we all have learned by now. I just can't retain. Nika, I thought for a minute they were going to have a situation happen between the two of them, much like Spencer was saying, no, don't be hooking up just because you're sad. And I thought, please don't do this to Curtis. He is so much better than that.
Right.
And they played it exactly how it should have gone. He was drinking. She made a phone call to someone that we didn't know at the time to say, hey, Curtis is in a bad place. You need to come check on him. And then it turned out to be his dad, which I thought was perfect.
I thought it was going to, see, and my original thought was it's going to be Ms. Wu because she has the place in the back. And so if people come out and see the owner of the Savoy like that.
Oh, do you think she knows what's going on in the back? I don't think.
I don't know.
No, I don't think she knows.
I don't know. I don't think she knows what's going on in the back, but she might know that Ms. Wu is like a partner.
Right,
know. Like a quote partner.
Maybe.
So you would call. But no, I'm absolutely so glad with the calling of Marshall, and they talked. It was really, really nice. And I love that they're finally giving him. Donnell Turner is a great actor.
Yes.
They're giving him a great storyline. It stinks, but they're giving him a great storyline. And then, she was talking with Jordan? Or she was talking with Curtis before he went, right? And he said something about, well, how did Aunt Stella know? And she's like, oh, I think Jordan might have told her.
Yes.
Kind of appreciate that she's not going down by herself. She didn't throw her under the bus, but she also did not lie and say, oh, I don't know, Stella just figured it out on her own. Like, no, hey, Jordan kind of pushed this along a little bit too.
Yeah, but I don't feel like Jordan's intention was wrong. She was trying to prevent the same thing from happening that happened in their marriage and made it fail of keeping secrets.
But that line came so late. If she had started the entire conversation with Portia with that intention, if that had come when she first approached Portia about it, other than, I'm going to tell Curtis, I'm going to tell Curtis, I'm going to tell Curtis. If you don't, I'm going to tell Curtis. It came a little too late. I think it was sincere, but she should have said that.
I was going to say, I think that it's still sincere.
I do.
It's just
but she should have said it a long time ago, not. And then afterwards, if Portia's like, back up, then Jordan has said her piece.
Yes.
And that's all that she needed to say. And that is Portia's decision.
Right.
But
I just don't want to
bullied her.
I don't want it to come off to Curtis like Jordan was holding the secret to try to break their marriage up before it even got started.
No.
She was not.
No, neither do I. I'm just saying, like, that line that she got from her the night before the wedding, or right before the wedding, it was a little too late.
It was the last chance, though, I feel like is why she finally said it. I don't know.
I don't even know where to go from all of that.
I'm going to divert it back to the young love conversation.
Okay.
We saw Joss after her first, like, official sleepover, and I felt like that was all just weird. The whole thing felt so forced to me. The conversations, I was happy for her.
We're finally in bed.
Like, yeah. I mean, and the conversation was sweet where he said to her, you know, this isn't like a casual thing. I want this to be something.
Well, he's older, so I mean, she probably does have that concern, like, oh shoot, am I just...
Right. So he clarified, like, no, I have actual feelings for you, and this is something to me. And she, you know, lit up and was like, thank you for saying it first. I have feelings for you too, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That was all fine and stuff. But then he leaves bed and starts making phone calls about pikeman security. Again, do you not realize your apartment's like this big? So of course she's going to get out of bed and be right next to you because your kitchen and your living room are all connected. There's nowhere else in the house for her to go. And then she's like, well, what are you talking about? Who are you working for? What's pikeman? These are conversations that you knew were coming. So I was just kind of disappointed with all of it.
And the thing is, she's going to be okay with it, and it's everything that she called her mom out on.
Yeah. I mean, we knew we were going to have her replay Carly because that's just what the storyline was meant to be, I feel like, from the day she was born. But I would like to see a little more kickback.
Yeah.
Like, she's not accepting it so easily. It's just like, oh, okay, I like you. Sure, we can be in danger. It's fine.
Well, and especially where he said, like, Sonny's not going to recover from this. And it looked like she was giving it a little bit of pause. And she's like, well, he's been in my life for a long time, but go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, again, she's still benefiting from all of that stuff because Sonny still protects her. And what's going to happen? And I think that's something that she has not thought about is what's going to happen to me if Sonny goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And Dex was very adamant that he was not going to tell her who he was working for.
Right.
Because it's her brother.
Yeah. Sticky situation there, man.
Mm-hmm. He's going to die. I feel like Dex is going to die.
No.
There was something about the whole conversation. I was like, oh, shoot. Listen, I have been very wrong lately, so.
Michael and Jocelyn are like Black Widows. Whoever are with them have to die?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. There was something about the way that he was talking about his timeline. Maybe it was just because he was talking about here are the possible outcomes here. It's either I do this and I'm out in 6 months, or I don't do this and somebody comes after me. Maybe that's where. He might not die.
I don't want him to die.
I don't want him to. Maybe it was just my thinking of when he was giving those explanations.
I don't like your thinking.
But I have a question. Where the heck did this stupid dress shirt in the morning thing come from? Where? It's dumb.
You ever
done it? No. So you mean the perfectly pressed?
Right.
And perfectly cuffed?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm sure it was just laying on the floor from the night before.
Was it that even the shirt that he was wearing?
I don't think so.
Exactly. So what, she just went to his closet and pulled it out?
Because his shirt's way more comfortable than her own clothes.
T-shirts and sweats aren't?
Yeah.
Give me t-shirt and sweats any day.
Yep.
Even if they have the drawstring and they have to be like super baggy.
It would make more sense if she would have walked out in just one of his undershirts, like a long white shirt. Okay. Because sure, maybe you don't want to put your own clothes back on and you want something to, cover yourself. Just a plain white shirt. But I would never take a dress shirt.
No.
Especially a nice pressed one like you're saying. That takes way too much time. I'm not ironing for you or paying the dry cleaning bill. Not happening.
I don't know. Hollywood, that's one of the dumbest things that you ever started. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been cute the first time. For whatever reason, I'm seeing Doris Day in my head, and it might have been Doris Day that started it.
To me, it's one of those things, like someone's coming in the room, and you just need to grab something real quick to cover up. And so his shirt's right there on the floor or the end of the bed, and you grabbed it and covered up.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. You could use that every 6th TV show.
But I also think that it started, so let's say that it did start in like the Doris Day era. if it started then, that was also when people dressed nicely every single day.
Right.
So that made sense then because, of course, the man would have a dress shirt right there because that's what they wore. Guys aren't dressing like that every day.
No.
We can totally bring that back, though. I am totally a fan of bringing back.
Yeah. And then I'll wear the shirt in the morning. If you get men to dress like that all the time, I will put the shirt on in the morning.
Although I'm really bad at being a girl, so I'm kind of intimidated by that whole thing. But then women were actually taught how to do those things. So I made a list of 50 things I want to do before I'm 50, and I'm way over 50 things now, but still. And one of them was just to learn how to curl my hair.
Yes.
Some of the things were just super simple like that, and how to accessorize.
I told you, buy those curly things off Amazon that Madeline uses.
The sleep stylers?
No.
I have the sleep stylers. I just don't put the time into actually doing it. So I don't just sit here and go, oh, what should I do tonight? Instead, I make Guess Who games. I don't think about learning how to curl my hair.
I'm not going to complain about the Guess Who thing, but I cannot curl hair. Again, I don't know why I have 3 daughters. It's like
a curse.
I can't braid. I can't curl. I can't. Like, I can do my own makeup. Not that I look fantastic, but I think I look decent enough.
My daughter does her makeup way better than I do.
Yeah, I'm not a good girl either in that kind of way. So they have on Amazon these mesh curlers that you put a stick through.
They're probably the ones that I used when I was younger. They're pink, like foam rollers.
No, they're not foam. They're mesh, like a hard mesh. So you put the stick through it.
I know what you're talking about. You did send those to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you take a piece of hair and you pull it through. And then you just let it stay like that until it dries. You can sleep on them. I usually do Madeline's on the way to comps so that it's dried in the car ride.
My problem is I shower in the morning.
Oh.
So that's where the problem is.
Okay, well.
Because if I work out in the morning, I shower in the morning. So even if...
But you
do... I do shower daily. So I don't work out every day, but I do shower daily.
But you do a decent amount of work from home. If you don't have to be on a Zoom call, you could do it then. And they can dry while you're doing all your paperwork and stuff. And then you can pull them out right before you go into the office or on date night or whatever you're trying to curl it for.
I'll see.
I don't know. I can't do curling irons. I either curl them too tight or too loose. I burn my hand 100,000 times. And by the time that we get wherever we're supposed to be, the curl is gone. And it doesn't matter. Like, all of my girls have a different texture of hair. And
I think there's all the product. Like, you're supposed to put, like, 20 things in your hair to hold it?
Yeah.
That's just where I get confused.
Right.
Welcome to the We're Bad at Being Girls podcast. Tell us, what do you struggle with as a woman?
That is a whole nother podcast, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyway, back to General Hospital. Yeah, I just did not like the scene between Joss and Dex because it felt like they were talking about stuff they'd already talked about before, and it didn't move the storyline anymore than to be like, oh, you work in a dangerous profession for my stepdad, Sonny.
Oh, that's right. I caught you in the stairwell and recorded you.
Yeah.
Did we forget that?
So,
having a very private, difficult conversation that obviously was talking about something shady, and she was...
Yeah. They just need to do more than have the same conversation and have sex. Those are the only things that they do.
And that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm just like, that's not I've never felt this way before. I feel so strongly for you. You are feeling something other than actual feelings. Just saying.
She's a teen girl. That's a normal part.
But I'm just saying.
Of life also. So, I'm trying to think of whatever other, like, not insignificant, but smaller
little things we could talk about before they led up to.
Dante and Sam are back.
Yes. Yes, they are. I did not even write that down. Hold on. It has to... Oh, yeah. Well, so Sasha went to see Heather Weber and pretended to be a lawyer.
I loved that.
Loved it. And then called her out on trying to plead insanity.
Loved that.
But then Cody was there because he was paying for his parking ticket.
Yeah.
And he went to tell Dante, hey, by the way, Sasha's kind of doing something that I think it's probably not going to be a good idea.
Yep.
And then Sam filled Cody in on the Ice Princess.
Yeah. And it was good. The storyline had purpose. We achieved something. It did feel like natural, the way that it progressed.
It made sense, yeah.
I was very happy with it.
Well, because he was like, well, you know that's cursed, right? And then the conversation was not forced. It was,
no, what are you talking about?
Right.
So yeah, I didn't need all their smoochy, let's take a shower together, whatever. But the rest of the story all made sense.
Despite all the familial status stuff, I actually thought that was kind of cute. When she's like, there's a spot on my back, I just can't. Like, that was cute.
It was cute and flirty. They got their flirting down.
Yes. Yeah. Well, also, Liz and Finn, they're cute now, too. They were being super cute.
They were.
That's how they had started. Maybe people wouldn't.
Yeah.
To be fair, if they're giving them a reset right now, it's actually not a bad reset. They're doing pretty good with it. But then Scott showed up, and we didn't hear her telling him everything, but the next scene was him over his paper going, what? like Elizabeth, what?
He was so good with his reaction. How did you get dragged into this? How did you think this was a good idea?
Yeah.
So you kept her captive, and she's like, well, no, I came in after the fact. And he's like, but still, what are you doing?
Right.
It was very nice. And I love the fact that she said, you're like the grandfather to my boys, and you're the closest thing I have to a dad.
Yeah.
That was very sweet.
It was. But then later when she was talking with Cam about Esme, and she said that Franco is technically her half-sister, so Esme's kind of Cam's aunt.
Stop.
Auntie Esme!
Stop.
So how about we don't?
Oh my
I know
gosh.
that some people have been like, wouldn't that be something if Cam and Esme got together?
No.
Even though there is no blood.
No.
No, because Jeff is how Heather has the last name.
Yeah.
We always have to keep reminding ourselves of it, because then that's also Laura Weber Baldwin, but then Lucky and Liz. But it's whole other. See, they've been doing this for decades, guys. The whole.
We just give everyone the same last name with like 10 different last names.
Yes.
Then.
But so Cam's cousin's brother is also his cousin.
Cam's cousin's brother
Spencer
is also his
cousin. Because if Esme is Franco's sister and is technically Cam's aunt, her child would be Cam's cousin. So his cousin's brother is also his cousin.
Wow. Okay. My brain is not ready to absorb all this. Right? Yeah. I mean, that's when we're going to get into the blood stuff, because he's not technically his cousin.
I know, but
he is his cousin. Okay. Oh, man. You're right, but sometimes your rightness is just a little too creepy, so my brain luckily doesn't go there.
But then that's also, he's technically Xander's son.
Right.
Technically. So, Lucky being his father, although Lucky is his dad. Like that.
Did Lucky adopt him?
I don't think so. I think because he's been Cameron Weber.
Yeah, so I wouldn't think so either. Not that it matters. I mean, we've talked about this all the time, that families work however they work.
If we did a family tree,
yes,
they'd all be on it, side by side and all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Heather hooked Austin and then admitted that she has been the hook the whole time.
Including Oz Haggerty, which I really did not think was her.
I don't think she did.
You don't think?
No,
okay.
Because she says that she hooked Nikolas.
Yeah.
And he was not hooked. She is not the original hook. I think that she's copycat.
Oh, okay.
I think that, and she did say, as, you know, revenge for my daughter, I would do anything for my kids, whatever. But when they threw out, was it Nikolas, or they threw out the name of somebody else? Because I think they were trying to say, like, is she actually confessing to things?
Yeah.
And I think she confessed to something that wasn't even done.
Okay. Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be mistaking what I thought while I was watching that. But I really do think that, because she said that she hooked Nikolas.
Right.
And he wasn't hooked.
No.
So, no. I don't know. Again, we don't have to talk about it again, but...
All right, we're going to rewind.
If it was seriously Heather this whole time,
I will be very
disappointed.
But I'm glad that everybody's making the connections at the same time. So Heather hooks Austin, and then Esme ran out the door, and Ryan ran after her. And so then Heather is standing there with Felicia and Ava, and they, of course, are not trusting her. And then she finally says, like, I don't really care about either one of you, so you can just go.
Right.
And then says the line to Ava that she said at the end of last week of, but don't you want to know what all he did for you? Because this is all about you. And explains, I don't think she explained all of it. Ryan explained all of it, right?
Yes.
Or she
dropped
tip of the iceberg.
Why do you think that Esme came to town? Why do you think Esme came with Spencer? Because and then Ava was able to have that conversation.
Yes. So Heather gives her a gun and is like, whatever, go ahead, you should kill. I do love how clever Heather is, that she will kill certain people, but other people she totally sets it up. Like Ryan's the one that killed the guard. She didn't have anything to do with that, even though she gave him the weapon. Right. And Ava was going to be the person that killed Ryan, and she didn't have anything to do with it, even though she gave Ava the gun to go kill Ryan. So I like her pre-planning. But anyway, so Ava goes off and finds Ryan, and Esme is able to escape, but she does admit that her water just broke and she needs help.
Yeah.
I was impressed that she was moving around and getting where she needed to go, being in that much pain. And then Ryan tells Ava, Ava shoots Ryan. And only shoots his arm, his shoulder, and he's like,
"See, shot me." Well, have you ever seen Austin Powers?
Yes.
You know the scene where the guy, like, they put him down in the chute, and he's supposed to have burned, and he doesn't burn, and then he's like, "Somebody please help me, I'm burnt very badly." And so Dr. Evil calls down and is like, "Listen, he's burned, but he's not dead. Can you guys fix this?" And so they open up the door. I mean, you just hear all of this. I remember being in the theater watching this with my uncle, who took me to see Austin Powers originally, crying. I was laughing so hard, and it's so not I mean, that's what it was done for. And he's like, "I designed this. I know that we can get out. Just help me." And then you hear the gunshot, and he's like, "You shot me." That's all. When Ryan said that, I started laughing.
Oh my gosh. I wish that our listeners could have just seen all the expressions. As much as I would hate the idea, as much as I would hate going live for YouTube, I also wish times like this that they could look at you, because you are ridiculous, but it's funny as all heck.
Well, anyway, you were going I did write that down. I was like, Austin Powers. I was like, no, somebody has to.
Thank you for your Austin Powers recap in our General Hospital recap. We all appreciate it. Oh my gosh.
Please tell me I'm not the only one that thought of that. Okay, thanks.
I hope you get lots of people who write in, but I did not. I have seen the movie, but apparently it did not have the same impact on my life as it did on yours.
So let's recall things like that very easily, because I feel like he said it in the same tone.
Okay.
So that's just a whole other.
Okay. So yes, he is shocked that she shot him, but then he turns around and twists it and is like, "But of course you couldn't kill me, because we're meant to be together."
I know. What
you know. And she's trying to shoot the gun, but she has no more bullets. And I'm like, "Oh, Ava, come on. There has to be another bullet in there," because he is so messed up that he could turn it around like that and try to make it like you two are going to live happily ever after. And then he explains, like, "Yeah, I had to do this. I had to do that because I needed us here." And he said, "Husbands come and go," or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, what? And she tried to shoot him because he got closer and closer. She had no bullets. And then, boom, from behind.
Mac!
And it was Mac. I'm so glad they gave him the justice
that
he deserved.
So good.
And Ryan even said, like, it had to be you.
Yes.
So
satisfying.
So is he actually dead? Like, we saw a body. Yes. Everyone ID'd him, including Kevin.
I think that Ryan Chamberlain is dead. I do think that Ryan Chamberlain is officially dead. There's no possible way.
There's not a triplet somewhere.
Listen, I am still wondering why we have never done the triplet thing, but that's a whole other thing.
Hey.
But they can totally blame Ryan for Nikolas's death.
I know.
They can say that to get to Ava, he did that.
Yep. I know. I was happy for Ava when I realized that. I know that's so messed up, but I'm like, Ava, just blame it on Ryan. It's all good.
And then when Mac was like, Ava was actually trying to almost not confess, but he's like, "Ava, this is what happened tonight. You shot him. He was going after you, so I shot him.
Yes.
But it almost sounded like he was trying to be, but he wasn't. He was just reminding her, like, no, Ava, what you're thinking right now is not what happened. This is actually what happened.
Yes.
It's legit. It's no way around it.
Yeah.
Oh, but then Mac, when he had to go tell Kevin, and Kevin just knew.
Kevin did know.
And he said...
He did say, as he leaned over the body, he was like, I could feel it this time. It actually, he's gone. And I was like, oh. And I liked that Felicia was a good friend to him at that moment, too. She was like, I'm very sorry. And he was like, he was crazy. And she's like, but he was still your brother.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's one of those times that it's still your family. Your family can do bad things, and you can still grieve.
Yes.
Because of the relationship that you are supposed to have with that person, and it just wasn't, and then they're no longer with us, and there's no possibility of reconciliation then, so it's kind of like a final...
Right.
He could never get his brother to be good, even though I don't think he ever thought he really could, but I'm sure that might have had something to do with... It was in the back of his mind, you always want that healthy relationship with your family, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
No.
But Mac did it.
Mac did it.
Oh!
Mac did it.
And Peter August died on February 23rd, 2022, and Ryan died on February 22nd, 23.
Oh, so February is the month to just kill people.
And Felicia killed Peter.
Yeah.
So,
They can celebrate their murdering people's days together.
I'm really, really glad that it was Mac.
Yes. Yeah, if it would have been...
so good. Because at first I was like, oh, that's going to be Felicia.
That would have been good, too.
It would have been...
Mac
deserves that. Ryan deserved to get that from Mac.
Yes.
That sounds so horrible.
It's a TV show. We can say it.
Yes.
And I liked that Ava was the one that told Felicia, because she's like, and Ryan, like, Mac's okay, but and Ryan, and Ava's like, yeah, no, he's not doing so good. He's dead.
Yeah. That was... They're going to have a weird bond that no one can understand.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The same.
Oh, it was so good, though.
It was good. But now, Ava and Austin need to have a minute to talk.
Yeah.
So that they can explain that it was definitely Heather who did it, because people are questioning. I told you my words aren't working.
It happens all the time.
Questioning Austin on, why were you even there to see Ava? You said you treated her a year ago.
Right.
Why are you suddenly popping up at her house? And there's not really a good reason.
No, there's not.
And they just kept pushing Ava out. Like, no, he can't have visitors now. He can't have visitors. And she's like, I just need to tell him that we're going to tell everyone that Nikolas was killed by Heather or Ryan and let it go.
Yeah.
Just need a minute.
I'm curious to see how that goes. I think Austin won't say anything.
I don't think so either. There's really not any point. It was an accident. And he threatened to take her child. Sorry. Sometimes
it's just been so good lately.
Sometimes you just get what you get. Don't threaten my kids.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But then watching Esme put it all together, you actually felt bad for her. She's like, that psychopath is my dad, and then Heather won't leave the room.
So she gave birth at Windermere.
Uh-huh.
There was a paramedic there.
Uh-huh.
However, Kevin, the psychologist, delivered the baby. With the paramedic just peeking over his shoulder. Okay, cool.
I feel like that happens every day.
Just clarifying that. I did so before we get to the whole hospital thing though, because when Laura and Kevin were still on the pier and they started talking about the catacombs.
Yes.
And I thought, so we recorded a whole piece about the catacombs also already.
Yep.
It'll be out in a few weeks. I don't even know. I think this week is the is this week the parapet? So we have done Windermere, the parapet, and the catacombs, and the stables. And now we have to update the stables because now Nikolas is there.
Yes.
And I was like, seriously, are we going to have to update the catacombs? I don't think we couldn't just say that it was mentioned.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, I wonder, does Ava know about the tunnels from Windermere to the mainland?
I think it was Ava that they were talking about. It was funny because it was Heather that told Felicia and Ava to use the tunnels, though. She was like, you guys know about those, right? The whole world does. Just go ahead and climb through that and you'll be fine.
So I think it might have been. But then they give Laura, and she's like, oh, it's been so long, I really don't know if I can draw it. And then Mac presents her with like the tablet, and she said, wow, you guys have this? He's like, with all the chaos that the Cassadines have been causing, do you really think that PCPD does not have a map?
And she was like, I don't know, if we were running this storyline in the 80s, you wouldn't have, so.
No. But then that's when Laura told Kevin that Esme was Ryan's daughter, and that's when he put everything together of, oh, shoot, we need to get over there now, because this cannot be good that Heather and Ryan are together.
Right. And then Alexis showed up at that same time when they were still at the pier and was like, hey, I just reread this letter for the 15th time and realized Heather has to be the mom.
And why? What did I say? It was because of the typewriter. Because some of those, I said that when I was reading it. I was like, the type was it was inconsistent. And they went back old school and identified the typewriter.
I did like that Alexis was smart enough to call and ask. And they were like, yeah, we have a typewriter. Sure. No, the only person that had access was Heather, blah, blah, blah. She didn't just assume stuff. She actually used her investigative reporting skills to investigate before she went around spreading information. So, yeah, she came back and was like,
journalism.
Exactly. Good job, Alexis.
The facts before we start saying things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be first if you have the facts.
True. So, yeah, she's like, by the way, Heather's the mom. And then it hits all of them like, oh, crap, this is not a good situation.
No.
And then they said something about Esme being innocent. And they're all like, I don't know that Esme's innocent.
Right
but
now, she doesn't know what's happening. But, yeah, she definitely did some stuff.
Yeah.
Before, and then that brings us to, they got the baby and everything off of Windermere, went to the hospital, and then that gets you to where
Windermere is still where Heather announced that she was Esme's mom to Esme.
And she's like, what?
Yeah, she's like, I'm trying to have a baby. I can't process the fact that crazy man's my dad, and now you're going to tell me that you're my mom. And even in active labor, they're like, push one more time. And she's like, I can't. And I kind of felt her like, if this baby's going to be a monster like my parents are, do I really have to do all this work to get it out? And they're like, yes, just push one more time. And the baby is adorable. But again, I'm sorry, I don't usually nitpick, but who is casting these babies? That baby is huge. And Esme is such a little girl.
Right. And she was not that big. She was proportionally pregnant.
Exactly. It just makes sense that her baby would have been a little bit smaller than that. I'm not saying that they needed, a tiny baby.
We don't need 6-month-olds.
Yeah.
Parading around as
and especially
newborns.
Okay, I'm not up on the current child labor laws and how long they can be on screen and whatever, but I feel like these 5-second clips that we see the baby's face and then it's done, you could use a younger child for that.
Well, they could also do what they did with Wiley, the original baby Wileys. Remember when we were coming out of COVID and they had those giraffes? And when we interviewed their mom, they said she recorded them.
Right. In their
crib at home and sent it in. So, yeah, get someone who's like, hey, my friend just had the cutest baby. I'll take a little video, pop it on over.
Yeah. And you can edit it through. I don't know.
I know.
I feel like there has to be enough babies out there that people are like, here, use my baby. It's cute. That you could have a smaller baby. The babies they are currently using for Esme's and Willow's babies are adorable.
Absolutely.
Adorable.
But not newborns. And
but not
preemies.
Newborns. Well, Esme's at least was not supposed to be a preemie.
Right.
So they had a little bit more leeway there. But I know that little people can have big babies. Matt was 9'8", and I was much skinnier than I am now. And so I understand. But You just didn't expect Esme to be like, here's my newborn. Can you help me hold him? Because he's 20 pounds.
Right. Exactly.
But anyway, she was happy. And everybody's back and forth. Does she remember? Does she not remember? Does she know this? Does she not know this? Blah, blah, blah. And she doesn't seem to remember anything, but she does call the baby Ace.
Mm-hmm. And then, she's like, that just makes sense. I don't know why.
Yeah. I still don't think she's faking. I think just little memories are coming back.
I did like that Laura told her, though, that she is not automatically guilty because of who her parents are.
Yes.
I like that Laura is at least putting in her head, you can be a good person.
Right.
You don't have to be a bad person.
Right. Even if you did make bad choices before, you could make better choices now.
Because she said the Ace thing with when Matt came in.
Yeah.
And was questioning her.
Right.
So, and then I think he told her that Ryan was dead, or Laura told her. Either
Laura
way.
Laura told her because she
like,
said,
thank goodness.
She said she didn't want the baby back. The baby was in the nursery.
Yes.
And Laura said, Esme had a dream that Heather had come and kidnapped the baby.
Yes.
And so then she asked Laura where the baby was. And Laura said, oh, he's in the nursery. I can go have them bring him to you. And she was like, no, I don't want him back. What kind of parent am I going to be? And he's not safe because Ryan and Heather. And she was like, yeah, no, Ryan's dead and Heather's locked up, which isn't very reassuring because, again, Heather's broken out how many times?
And they mentioned that so many times.
Yes. Like, she's like known for the fact that she just comes and goes as she pleases. But at least Esme was made aware that she's not there.
Yes.
And I loved Spencer with the baby.
He is such a proud big brother.
He is. He's so cute.
Excited. Sonny, like Uncle Sonny. Look at isn't he cute? Like I love him.
Yes. So I would be okay if he got custody for a while. Like if we have to send Esme away.
Yeah.
Nikolas isn't there. I feel like he could move in with Laura and the two of them could take care of the baby. It would be cute.
Love that Ava told him the truth, even
it was
though
painful.
It hurt. And then he started to have that little attack of, oh my gosh, I'm why my dad did. And she's like, no.
Right. Your dad
shut that down. He's
makes his own choices.
Yeah.
You didn't know. But I did feel bad for him because he's like, Ava, why are you here? Did you come to see the baby? I mean, I'll show him to you, but that's weird. And she's like, no, thank you.
What else with Ryan before we move on? Oh, and it was on the pier that they told Trina and Spencer that Esme was. And Heather told him that he was next.
Yes. I mean, it didn't take a genius to figure that out, but yeah, that's kind of scary to hear that was her next intended one. And I loved how she was very whatever whenever they're questioning her. She's like, yeah, I didn't mean to kill Brando. I was going after Jocelyn. It was not my fault.
Do you know what day he was hooked?
What day?
My birthday.
Oh.
Dante straight up said September 13th, Brando Corbin was hooked. And I'm like, he was hooked on my birthday? That makes me sad.
I'm sorry.
I know. But Robert congratulated Jordan on catching the hook.
Yeah, which made it feel like she's not the actual hook. I agree with you there.
But also, she said that she hooked Nikolas and then was told that Ryan died. And so she now doesn't really have the motive to lie.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I can't be her.
I don't know if there's a second hook or if she's just crazy enough that she's purposely feeding them wrong information, that she hooked people that she didn't hook, so that they're like, oh no, now you're crazy because you're talking about you hurt people that you didn't hurt. Mm-hmm. But I did love Sasha, like we hit on briefly earlier. I did love Sasha going in there and being like, she didn't have to say anything. And that's the part that I feel like will hold up in court, is she didn't identify herself as your lawyer. They said that. You sat down, walked in, and was like, blah, 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 I killed this person.
She did.
She identified herself to the officer out front as her lawyer.
That's lying to a police officer.
That is.
I'm pretty sure that's not legal.
Yeah, slap on the wrist. Bad. But she did not tell Heather that she was her lawyer. So when Heather was talking to her, there you go. Heather assumed.
But Heather was under the assumption that she was her attorney, and she didn't do anything.
Assume.
That is true.
She didn't pay her any money. She didn't sign any contracts.
Okay. feel like there's a loophole there, but I am totally loving what Sasha did.
Yeah, I would understand if they didn't want to use that in court, but I feel like we need to allow it. Because Heather is just nuts.
Yeah.
And Sasha will finally get to stand up and be like, no, listen, she said she was going to do this. She said she was going to do that. She's a liar. She's manipulating the system. She needs to go down.
Yes.
And even if none of that happens, just the conviction that she said it to Heather, like, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. She deserves a win.
It was a really good week for the people that need closure and that little one-up of it's getting better.
Yeah.
You know, because Mac now does not have to worry about Ryan torturing anybody.
But especially Felicia.
Yeah.
Ever again.
I think that was it, but that was all so good.
It was also good.
We should have just gotten this one out of the way, because now we have to talk about Michael and Willow. Sonny asked Brooklyn to help with Michael and Willow.
And Michael walks in and is like, you don't need to ask for her help. I'm already here. And then they have a conversation, and Sonny wants Willow to forgive Nina enough that Nina can spend time with her before she dies. And at the exact same time, Nina's at the hospital hearing Drew saying that he's handling paperwork, which also, I hate whenever they do things that are so not real life. Anyone that's been in the hospital knows that they'll tell you the night beforehand, oh, we're going to discharge you tomorrow. You may get discharged at 8 a.m. and be out the door at 8:05, or you may not get discharged until 10 o'clock at night. It does not matter. You have to have that paperwork that's all signed, sealed, and delivered before you're leaving. You don't get to send someone else in later as your proxy to sign papers.
Right.
It doesn't happen. So he's there to finalize papers. And Nina's like, what?
Where she's
gone?
Of sound state and mind. It's not like he's POA.
Right. And I feel like even if he was POA, he'd have to do it at time of discharge, not hours later.
Right.
But whatever. And so Nina's like, what?
If we're wrong, just let us know, because that's a crazy story, too.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, maybe it is different somewhere else, but I feel like that's all HIPAA,
like
blah, blah, blah. It would have to be the same.
I think so.
So Nina assumes that Willow died and is like, what? Willow's not with us anymore? And Drew's like, no, what are you talking about?
She went home.
Yes, to spend time with her family, because there's nothing else they can do here. And Nina keeps harping on how awful it is, and he just keeps saying, there's nothing else they can do here.
And she's like, oh, she's giving up. No, she's going home to spend time with her children.
Right.
In their home. Because instead of...
As of right now, there's nothing else they can do here.
Yeah. She's prioritizing.
Yes.
Everyone makes their own decisions, and this is the one that she is making.
And maybe she didn't want to be held hostage in her room where you could barge in wherever you felt like it, when instead she could be home with her kids and the people that actually matter to her before she dies.
Can we stop having Wiley guilt her, though, please?
It's so... I know little kids aren't sensitive to what's going on in the world around them a lot of times as far as how other people are feeling, and so they say things that you're like, oh my gosh, that just broke my heart, even though you didn't mean it to. But that's like all that kid says to her. You never play with me? Are you going to play with me now? You're always so tired. Are you not going to be tired anymore?
Right.
He would not guilt her like that all the time.
No.
Absolutely not. And so he went up to the main house. We still didn't tell him. I don't know if I would tell him at that age. It's such a up in the air.
Right, because she might not.
Right, there's no time frame like this is definitely your last 24 hours with her. She could live for another couple months, and now all you have him doing, now he's going to walk up to her every day and be like, are you dead yet? Are you dying today?
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, but Drew did tell Nina that she is the only one to blame for why Willow feels that way about her.
Yes. Because it's the truth. Thanks, Drew. And Nina again starts trying to talk crap about Carly, and it's like, why is this important? Whatever's going on with her and Drew, or not going on with her and Drew, you kept Sonny hidden for years, or for months. Be quiet. I'm just tired of her saying the same thing. I want Willow to either get healed or to die, and to stop this in and out, back and forth, same conversations.
Yeah.
I don't want Willow to die. I'm just saying, if that's where we're going,
well, let's
get it done.
Now I want her to, because I'm like, can we just be done with this already?
I'm tired of the All About Nina show. Shocker. I don't like Nina. I'm tired of hearing her.
The only book I could read the name of on their bookshelf was Hellraiser.
Okay.
In Willow and Michael's house.
Okay.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think that was it, though. I mean, it was a great week.
It was, but it all went together. Like, everything
Yes.
happened one after another. It connected nicely. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Smells called Alexis.
Yes.
And that's when she found out who the people that escaped was, and that's what.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, there was somebody else that was mentioned because we haven't heard about Smoltz
Right,
in a long
and then
time.
she called him or one of the editors and was like, "We have the hook, blah blah blah." Can't talk again. We have the hook killer in custody, blah blah blah, to like get the story written. But it's all gonna come out, obviously.
It is. I can't wait.
I know. It's good.
It's good.
It's very good.
Yes, yes, yes. It's almost like they're building up to something that might be happening in a month.
You think?
Like a big thing.
Like a big anniversary or something?
I don't know, though. So it's your
reality check. This weekend was Madeline's first dance competition, and we were in Altoona, PA, which is only like an hour and a half from us, so that was good because it was a nice straight shot and whatever. And I was okay. I had the stuff together and all that, but there always has to be something that gets like tossed in there to mess up what you think is doing well. So they performed their trio on Friday night. And
what does that mean? Sorry.
Okay. So there's like different levels of awards. It's silver, gold, high gold, platinum, and diamond.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And then there are different categories where there's like recreational, which is what Madeline's level is, and then the more professional levels, like competitive levels. They're all judged. It's a competition and whatever, but they still know, their skill level. She's not as good as some of the kids that have been dancing for longer, and that's fine.
Fair enough. She's only...
Oh, no, it's not an age thing. There's dancers that are way younger than her that are amazing, and that's awesome, and I'm very proud of them and happy for them. Their parents obviously have a lot more time and money than Madeline's mother has to put into it, because if you have a dancer, just like everything else with kids, it is very expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
So, trio and duo, so 2 or 3 kids performing together, was Friday night. She went and did her dance. They got 4th place high gold. So it was a good award. And they gave them like an actual little medal that they got to wear. And so it was cute. I have a picture of the 3 of them that I'll show you of them with their medal or whatever. So we go back to the hotel and she takes a shower because, like you're talking about with hair stuff, she had to have her hair curled for that. So there's tons of hairspray and nastiness in her hair and whatever. And so she is like, "Oh, my back's really itchy. Super sensitive skin.
Oh, no.
My back's itchy." I didn't bring anything. But in the hotel, they have, and this is not to slander any companies, I'm just telling you the product that it was the Dove body moisturizer.
Yeah, that's one of the top.
It's a decent brand, and
you always see that it's dermatologist suggested.
Yeah,
like, it's a very
we're
reputable.
All good to go. Exactly.
Oh, no.
And I use Dove. I love Dove. So again, not saying anything crappy.
Anyone can have an allergy to anything.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh.
So my back is so itchy. So I take a big old gob of the moisturizer and slather it on her, and in 2.5 minutes, her entire back is bright red.
Oh my goodness.
On fire. She is crying her eyes out. So I throw her in the tub with just water. Like, don't use any product, just water, and wash her all down and whatever. And she gets into bed, falls asleep, wakes up at 3 in the morning. We have to be up at 6 because she has to be back at the place for 7 for her call time. So up at 3 in the morning, bawling her eyes out because her back hurts so bad. So I'm laying in bed from 3 until 4, rubbing her back till she finally gets to sleep, but I still can't move because then she'll wake up. Right. So I was up since 3 in the morning on Saturday. Get her up on time to get ready. I cannot touch her without her crying. Everything hurts. Her eyes are watering. She has other splotches all over her body. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get her dressed and we go. And luckily, these are the 2 dances that she loves. She likes the trio, but these are the 2 like group dances that she loves. The one, she's a Barbie doll, and it's really cute because each girl is like a different Barbie doll. Like they have flight attendant Barbie, they have ballerina Barbie. They have,
okay. What was she?
She's Baker Barbie.
Oh.
So her outfit's super cute or whatever. And I lucked out as a mom that she had to have the same hairstyle for both of those dances.
Oh,
so I only had to put it up
nice.
once and be done for the whole day. So that was great. But anyway, so they did their dances, and even though she was in pain, she loves those dances. So she like lit up on stage and like hit all her marks and whatever. So for the Barbie dance, which is her second favorite, they got second place high gold. And for Coffee to Go, which is cute, they have
Hold it. These levels.
Yep.
That is not the placement. It is like high gold,
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Right.
Oh my, what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought it was, okay.
Nope.
All right, cool.
No, there's like a 1 through 10 of every one of those 5 levels, which I think is nice because I feel like they're trying to include more kids and like, yes, good job. It's kind of like where the world is now.
Trophies,
everyone,
that's not the real world.
I know, but I think they're trying to encourage their love of dance. Like, you still did a good job and stuff.
You can encourage the love of it, but you also have to encourage
that now everyone wins. Yes, yeah. I know. And there were teams that didn't win, and as it got to the harder levels, less people won. But anyway.
I'm not saying like break a 5-year-old's heart or anything. Madeline's older than that, but still, it's...
I see both sides of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
I got a trophy just for finishing the softball season, but I actually also won. Like, my team won. So I don't know if I got it because I won or because...
Yes.
I participated.
So there were kids that did not get awards, so there is that reality part of it. I don't know. I honestly don't care. Madeline dances because Madeline loves dancing.
That's all that matters.
Is on the comp team because she asked to be on the comp team. I don't care where they place, other than it's cute to see that smile. So for the coffee dance, they literally have little coffee cups that they like toss behind them. It's really cute. And they have this huge coffee mug that they all start out standing around, and then they dance and then come back around it for their final pose. They got first place high gold. Aww. And she was the one, because each kid gets a turn getting the award if they win. It was her turn to get the award. So she got to jump up, and they handed her the thing. And oh my God, the smile on her face, just ear to ear. First place high gold. So happy. So awesome. It made it totally worth it. And then she didn't seem, another mom hack that I feel like most people have used. She was so upset in the morning about being in pain. And of course I had no Benadryl with me, but I had Tums with me. And I was like, there's an anti-inflammatory in Tums. Take these and you will start to feel better. And so that placebo effect had hit in, and we made it through the comp. And then I went and got her Benadryl, and all was good.
And she's
with the world. And yeah, so.
Oh.
So yeah, it was a good
and weird things.
It's just one of those things, like, who would have thought?
Yeah. Well, now you have to find out what was in it that didn't.
I don't know. She has very, very, very sensitive skin, super dry. Like, whenever she takes her leggings off, there's like skin flakes in her pants. That's how dry she is. Been to the dermatologist, tried every lotion that I can think of, imaginable, all reputable, great companies that use nothing that should be hurting your skin, and yet it doesn't cause a reaction, but it doesn't heal anything either. So if you have a magic product that you've tried that is great for super sensitive, it's not like an eczema, or it's like an eczema, not a psoriasis that she has.
Gotcha.
So if you have a product, please write in and tell me, because I will try anything. Yeah. Because over the counter and prescriptions, we've gone to the dermatologist, blah blah blah, nothing.
Poor girl.
Nothing works. So.
Poor mom. There's nothing worse than not being able
mom in the world. It's 11 o'clock at night. She's exhausted, and she's like, my back is itchy, and I'm like, here, I'll fix it. And then, no, did not fix it. Made it 100 times worse.
You did what moms do, though. You didn't know.
No, I didn't know. But like, she's crying in the bathroom the next morning about, why is it? Because none of the other kids have this skin issue. And so she's like, why am I the one that has it? Her little tears streaming down her face, and it makes you feel like a bad mom, even though you've done everything.
But maybe her purpose is to find out what the cure is for that.
Okay. In 20 years, when she discovers that, I'll be all in. Right now, when we still don't know.
Well, right now, maybe you will. And then that will be...
I'll go get a degree in chemistry. Because
you don't even have to do that. There's people that have created their own products because of something like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Get to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not as good as you are.
On next week's show, Amanda is going to have amazing products.
Amanda's Shark Tank week next week, where I'm going to tell you what
Shark Tank with you.
Sure.
I'll pitch.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'll go back to you if you know a product that already
We
exists.
could get Lori because she would get it on QVC.
Yes, I love that. Please let me know because I'm not going to discover my own product anytime soon. Thank you.
Let's take yours.
Oh, heck yeah, well. So, what's yours?
My daughter started that paid work experience this week, and
I'm so happy for her.
So proud of herself. And I texted you, and I'm like, I can't stop crying. Like, it was, you know how hard it has been to even get like this little.
Yeah, let me tell you how shocked I was that Shannon texted me. She was crying about
It was
something.
on and off, but I was just like, it's one of those, I am so exhausted and it's finally here. But now we have so much more to do to get.
Yes, but it's all worth it because you do see the sense of accomplishment in her, and it's awesome.
And she still is working her other job, so she works that on Friday, and because they're supporting, so yeah. But she got to play with the cats.
That's like the best part.
I know. She's like, I had to clean their litter boxes. Like, it's the same thing that you have to do with Cookie.
Right.
And she knows, but
no one enjoys cleaning. I mean, I have to identify with her there. No one's like, yay, litter boxes. But
you take care of them, so.
Yay, I'm so happy for her and
me
for
too.
you. And just
and there's a committee that I've had to step back from that meant a lot to me, but they meet the last Wednesday of every month from 1 to 3, and I have to pick her up at 2. So depending on where I am, I'd be in the car the whole way because I can do it's all on Zoom. But and then I drop her off, and I would still be in the car like around 3, and I was just like, you know what, I am not adding that stress to my day.
It's not fun to live in the car.
No, it's nice when it happened that way and I was able to, so that was a great perk.
Right.
But for me to do it even once a month, to know that that's how I'd be doing it every single month is just, you know, that's, my time was done with that. I'm still supporting in other ways, but I just won't be a part of it. So.
And they have to understand that. Family first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah. But now I'm working on her summer schedule and trying to figure that out.
No.
One thing at a time. No, but I have to because things
I know. Oh, I know. But we're going to end on the happy note of our kids accomplishing stuff.
Yay. All right. So join us on Thursday as we discuss some part of Windermere and Spoon Island. We're just not sure which one we're going to release yet. I'm going to go with the easiest one to edit.
There you go. That sounds like a great pick.
Sounds like a good plan. Okay.
All right.
You'll be just as surprised as we are.
Have a good weekend.
And we'll
Nope. Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.